Hi guys, my name is Karthik and I am from executeautomation.com and welcome to another video of our EA Weekly video series. And today we are going to be inviting another company in our EA Weekly. Like last week we invited Lambda Test, and today we are going to be talking with Invenco company, where we are not just going to be talking about maybe automation testing, but this time we are going to be talking a little different concept, which is nothing but the manual testing and the testing mindsets. So it's kind of a different topic. We have never discussed like this in our YouTube channel of Exit Automation or even my Udemy courses. So probably this is one of the starting point to understand the testing mindset which is required by all the testers before you actually run for the automation testing and start doing the testing itself. Because we have been seeing this all these days that if you see any testers, the first question you ask is, do you know automation testing? But the most important thing is, do you know testing? That's important. So today we are going to be going into their house and we are going to be interviewing them, and we'll also see how the testing process is done in that company, and then we'll be discussing a lot of concepts on manual testing. So let's discuss. Hi guys, my name is Karthik and I'm from executeautomation.com, and today we have my friend from Invenco. We both worked in the same company, and we are working in manual and automation testing, and we discuss a lot about the testing concepts and ideas. And today we are going to be talking first time in execute automation, which is not automation testing. So we are going to be talking about manual testing, and we're going to be talking about how the manual testing process can be improved and what is this testing is all about. Because all these days we were talking about the automation testing tools and techniques, but I think I never spoke about the manual testing. So today is the day where we are going to be talking about the manual testing. So so join with me, Vikas from Invenco. So he's going to be talking to us regarding not just about automation testing. He's not against automation testing, but he is going to be helping us understand what are the different ideas and concepts relay behind the actual testing mindset. So I'm saying the testing mindset, so you'll be hearing a lot from Vikas because he has so many years of experience on testing mindset. So we are going to be hearing a lot from you, Vikas. So the first question, I guess. So this EA Weekly is a little different. I'm going to be talking with Vikas in a conversational mode. Rather, there is like a one-way conversation where I'll be just recording my screen, or there is other guy sitting opposite to me in different part of the world. This time we have Vikas who is sitting along with me, which is really cool. So I'm pretty excited about listening from you on the manual testing concept, Vikas.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having me on EA Weekly KK. It's an honor and privilege. And greetings to all the EA Weekly viewers as well. So I'm quite keen to add some value, and hopefully we can have a good conversation.
Yep, cool. So you can see there is some technical limitations I have. I have this mic sitting here because I don't really have a collar mic. I have one with Vikas. So that's why I'm just leaned here. I'm here sitting. So which is something I probably can improve in my upcoming videos. But as of now, this is what I have. So so getting back to the question, the first question I have for Vikas is, we are talking about automation testing in our Exit Automation Weekly, or maybe in all my videos I have discussed so far. But I think I have never discussed about the real testing, the testing mindset.
Sure.
Right? And people from different part of the world, the companies and the countries I have worked, like India, Malaysia, and here in New Zealand, I see like a lot of people are talking about testing. They are talking about tools. The first thing, if you talk about testing, they will start talking about the tools, that what you know. They suddenly say, I know Selenium, right?
Sure.
But I have never heard somebody who is talking about the testing mindset, or talking about, I know about the black box testing or exploratory testing, but if you ask them like what is these things, suddenly they will say something which they know, which they have heard, but there is nothing
Yep.
they have learned or something like that. So how do you think the testing mindset, and but before going to all these things, uh, what do you think about automation testing?
I think automation definitely has a lot of value.
Yeah.
I can tell a bit about what we're doing in my current company at Invenco. So we've got several automation teams. We automate a web application. We've got a team that's focusing on that. We've also got embedded hardware, and we've got an automation team doing lots of automation work, testing the embedded software, firmware on these hardware devices as well. So I support that. We're certainly getting a lot of value in our company through automation. So that's definitely a good thing, and it has its place.
Cool. So you guys are already doing a lot of things. Of course, I
Yes.
know that, but I just feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, we have so many things in
Yep.
automation in common, and yeah, but the benefits that you get from automation testing, do you think that it's really great?
Yes. So one thing that I stress in the automation teams that we have at our company is that automation is great, but that has to be supported by a great testing mindset. We've got to have a good solid foundation from a testing mindset perspective, which then feeds into our automation efforts, and then we get value out of our automation.
Yep.
Because I've seen from some of my past experience that we can put a lot of effort into automation, but if you don't have the testing mindset, then there's not a lot of value you get. We do lots of automation before we release the product out to the market, and then it goes into production, and then we can see that we're getting lots of errors reported by the customers. So obviously something's missing, and that's where the testing mindset comes into picture.
Correct. Yep. So as you can see that we are hearing a lot of testing mindset
Yes.
wording from
Yep.
you. Can you please explain us like what is this testing mindset and why a tester need to
Sure.
have this testing mindset?
Yep. So some of the aspects of having a good testing mindset is like for a tester, he needs to be really good at test design. So then to be good at test design, he needs to understand the customer's risk. He needs to understand the product from a holistic perspective as to when this gets delivered to the customer, how is it going to be used. He needs to wear various hats, one as a customer, one as maybe persons who are supporting the maintenance of this product, and then he needs to understand what are some risks that this product can face when it goes out into the market, and then consider those things when they do automation. Like for example, I would say to build a good testing mindset, you need to focus on getting better at your test design. And one way of doing that is through, in my experience, I've used the heuristic test strategy model. So this is a model that is authored by a person called James Park. So he's quite big on the testing scene. So you use this model to understand all the various aspects of the product that you can test from all possible angles and decide what you want to consider for your automation effort, rather than doing something that's easy or something that you can think of based on your experience. So we don't want to leave effort to chance, to people's limited experience or limited choice. So you use the heuristic test strategy model, which allows you to focus test design from all the various aspects of the product. Like for example, you look at platform, what are the various platforms that need to be supported. You look at functions, all the different functions of the product. You look at interface, all the different interfaces that the product needs to talk to. You look at time, how does the product behave with time. You look at various inputs and outputs. You look at operations, how are the various ways that this product can be used.
Cool.
And then you can make a conscious decision as to where you want to focus your test design, and that feeds into your automation effort. So that is from a test design perspective. The other big thing is also considering test data, like what's realistic, because coming up with complex test data that is more similar to what might happen in production is an important consideration, because you might use test data that is not very powerful in your automation, and then when you realize that you've released a production, oops, lots of errors start coming up.
Yep.
So test design, and then there's test data, and there's also validation. Validation is quite tricky with automation.
Yep.
Right? There are some things that are easier to validate than the others, so you've got to be very conscious that are you checking all the various things that you need to do, that you need to check. And then once you start doing this, you gain more and more confidence from your automation effort.
Cool. So you're saying that as a tester, one should have a holistic picture of the complete product.
Yep.
He should have a product knowledge. That's first thing.
Absolutely.
And then he should be testing the various aspects of the product, not just testing a product as a tester's perspective, but he should act as a customer. He should act as a product owner, or he should act like maybe even an end user. First of all, he should be acting as an end user.
Yes.
So he should be like an everything before he start doing the testing itself. Yep.
So what we do in our company is that every time we have a person join our automation test team, maybe for the first couple of months, this person gets to interact with the product, maybe do manual testing to start off with. This person talks to architects to get to understand how the system is built. So a lot of focus is given on that. You need to understand what the backend looks like, how the interfaces look like. So we speak and interact with the developers and the architects a lot to get this understanding. And then we also encourage people to speak a lot with the product owners to understand how the customers will be using this product. We also speak a lot with our infrastructure guys, which is the DevOps, because the application that we're testing is a cloud-based application. Yep. So infrastructure plays a significant role as well. So there's various aspects that you need to get good at.
So you should be good in communication as well as a tester.
Yeah.
Talking with a lot of people.
For sure.
And doing. Okay, cool.
Because I'm sure you've experienced that as well. As testers, majority of the times we don't really have any written requirements.
Yep.
You need to go out and get them. So either you can sit and make assumptions, or you can go out, talk to people, ask lots of questions. So that's another thing we encourage for testers is to ask lots and lots and lots of questions.
Cool.
There are no stupid questions.
Cool. Nice. All right. So we have been talking about this context, and we talked about the James Bark and how we can do the testing practices. But while all these things are there, I want to just know because we have to know some concrete place where these testings can be learned. So is there any certifications, or is there any other resources available so that people can just go scout and understand or learn these concepts?
Sure. Yes, I can talk a bit about that. Yep. But I'd say, before I talk about that, I'd say, I'd ask people to always ask the question as to what's the value that they're going to get by doing that certification or that course. Because there's lots that you can see in the market that's out there that you can go and do. So always question that, am I going to learn something in that course, like a skill or whatever, that I can take back to my work and use it? Is it going to help me in my day-to-day work or not? Things like that. So always ask that question before you choose what you can do. In terms of courses, from my experience, I've done the black box software testing series of courses by the Association of Software Testing. So it's also called BBST. Cool. By the Association of Software Testing.
Yep.
So it's a series of courses. They start off with the foundations, and that's a prerequisite. Once you do that, you can move on to doing the test design course, and then you can do the bug advocacy course. Mm-hmm. So all these courses run for about 4 weeks. They are very hands-on, and it's quite intensive. So there's about 20 people usually who are doing the course, along with an instructor. It's all virtual and remote based. So you don't go to a center to do the course.
Okay.
So they give you access to a web portal
Yep.
that you can log in, and then you can communicate through various other tools. So everything is virtual, but it's very intensive, it's very hands-on. You have quizzes, you have assignments, you have group assignments, and then you have exams towards the end. You have opportunities to give feedback to the others as well, which is a great skill to learn. Mm-hmm. And in when I did the course myself, I had to spend about 20 hours every week minimum to be able to successfully complete the course. And I found that I learned things in there which I could take to my workplace.
Cool.
So it gives you a nice grounding from a foundational aspect of software testing. It talks about lots of different things, gives you a good foundational understanding. So which would be great for somebody starting off in their testing careers, or even if they've got lots of experience, I'm sure they can benefit from doing that course.
Cool.
Yep.
So you're saying that that's a virtual course, but still it has a lot of interactions. Real people are going to be learning together as
Absolutely.
batches,
Yeah.
and they can learn at their ease from their home, which is going to be easy as well.
Absolutely.
Cool.
You look at video lectures, you submit assignments on their portal, you talk to people through Skype or any other communication channel.
Cool.
And you learn from their experience. Everybody's from different backgrounds, different companies, different countries. So it's a great experience. I've encouraged my other team members in my company to do these courses as well, and lots of people are benefiting from that. So that's certainly one good course that's out in the market that I've found valuable online. Yep. And then decide for yourself.
Cool, sure. That's really great. So we learned today that we have something like a BBST course, context driven, and we also learn about the different blocks that we can get into to understand the testing concepts. So once again, as whatever I heard correctly, that testing is not something which is like anybody can do. There is a concrete process, and there is a way that we can do it as like a certification, so that people can learn. It's not just to learn for the certification, which doesn't really give any value. But these certifications that we do, something like BBST as a course,
yep,
will for sure give a lot of benefits, and the way that we see as a tester in a completely different perspective, like what we are doing instead of doing directly like manual testing by clicking the buttons and something like that. So yep, it's really certainly a helpful way of learning things, right? Cool, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, some people have this conception that anybody can do testing. Sure, anybody can do it, but then if you want it to be done really well, professionally, you need to be good at several things. You need to have an analytical mind to analyze complex software systems, how the systems work, how they talk to various things. You need to have a critical mindset to think about how the product can fail in different ways. You need to put on a product owner's hat and understand what's important for the business. You need to put on a user's hat and understand how the customers are going to use it. You need to also look at it from infrastructure perspective.
So basically, he has to be like an all-rounder.
All-rounder.
To know everything.
Absolutely.
Before. Okay, cool.
So there's lots of things you need to you gain through experience and through practice, and get better and better and better as a software tester. And automation is certainly one of these aspects. It is not the aspect. So it's not like, oh, if you don't know automation, you're no good. But it's certainly becoming a very important aspect, because there's certainly value in that. There's lots of things, that repetitive checks that you can do through automation, and that would save you time.
Yep.
A lot of companies are also asking for this skill, so it's certainly valuable for people to focus on that as well. Correct. For sure.
Yeah. So which means I've seen the job descriptions in many companies right now, that all these companies just say like testing experience 5 years, and then suddenly they put like you should have good experience in automation testing. And at the same time, we have interviewed a lot of candidates, and I haven't interviewed in many countries. But the first thing I have seen in the profile is the first thing the question that we ask even is, do you know automation testing?
Right.
With that gets the whole context completely changed. Whereas people start into the race of starting to learn about automation testing rather the testing itself.
Yeah.
Right? That's where the whole topics is all about. Like, what is the most important thing? Like, not just the automation testing, but the perspective has to be changed in such a way that it is the testing first and then the automation
Absolutely.
next. Right?
Yeah, you need to have a good solid testing mindset, good foundation in that, and then automation builds on top of that.
Cool.
So in our interviews, we always, even if we're hiring for an automation role, if the person doesn't have a good solid foundational understanding of testing, doesn't have that tester's mindset, then we certainly not very interested in that. It has to be a complete package.
Cool.
Like
cool.
that.
All right. It seems like we had a very good conversation today. We certainly had a lot of discussion, not just about against the automation. We are still agreeing that automation testing is really, really important.
Yep.
But we also are encouraging people to go through the testing concepts, the manual testing concepts. It's not just manual testing concept. Maybe we can put it in a way.
Just testing concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it seems like manual, people are trying to run out of that.
No.
Of course, testing is something very important, and then it's the automation which comes in. So I guess we all have to learn about the manual the testing concepts first.
Absolutely.
Bring the testing idea, the testing mindset.
Yes.
And then go through. Because I have seen people, they keep on improving themselves with learning different tools and languages. But I have never seen a tester learning the concepts of testing and improving themselves. We have never seen a person who has put up a blog post or something like that talking about testing, other than the certifications, because they have many blogs talking about the certifications.
Yep.
ISTQB, ISTQB automation, all those certification related answers will be there, but nobody comes into an idea or concepts, or maybe there may be many, but not a lot, like automation. I guess we have to really think about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you so much, Vikas. Thank you so much for your time. And it was certainly a good conversation that we had. I hope the viewers will really get benefit out of it.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity, KK, to be a part of the EA Weekly series.
Cool.
You're certainly contributing a lot to the community, to the testing community, and it's nice to see a person who is so focused on automation to look at the broader testing mindset aspect as well.
Yep.
And I hope we're providing something valuable for the viewers today as well.
Sure.
Yep.
I get the benefit. The community has got benefit out of it. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much, Vikas, for joining with us. It was a great honor.
All right.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See you guys. So that's it, guys. Finally, as you can see that there is a lot of discussion happened on manual testing, and we understood how it is being achieved with the help of context-driven testing and with the help of BBST, a course which we probably not have heard about it. So we have understood some of the concept like this. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video and have a great day.